This week I've gone live on YouTube to see if I can start a no-code SaaS in one day. Developers are going to hate me for this, but it's what it is. No code is getting pretty far. Here's how I've done it: getting my front-end design in place, setting up the back-end workflows, and understanding our marketing pages. For those who are new, my name is Sergio Leis, and every Sunday I share stories on my solopreneur journey. This is week 15 and I have $1,900 left in savings. You might want to subscribe or join my newsletter to follow the journey. Alright, let's go. So first thing I did was design the different tabs for my application, which will be used to navigate around my SaaS. Then I started designing a fancy dashboard so people can see and understand the health of their business, with scorecards for sales, expenses, and profit, and simple tables showing group data. Next, I designed the sales tab with a simple table to see all the sales with the different details. Then I copied and pasted a very similar table for expenses and contacts. In no code, it's very common to copy and paste to save time. Great, so now I started designing a form so the user can actually create a new invoice. I designed it very similar to an actual invoice so the UX is nice and easy. Did the same thing for expenses and contacts, and now people can create, edit, or delete any of these. It's still a dummy front end, but we can already understand the interface of our product. So users can create new invoices and view them on the sales tab. Users can also create new expenses and view them in the expenses tab. And users can see an overview of their business in the dashboard with revenue, expenses, and profit, and the contacts associated to each sale and expense. Next thing I do is make sure my design is responsive in mobile. We all know how important mobile is, so just make sure to have everything nice and clean here. I adapt everything based from my desktop design, so with very simple rules like if the user is in mobile, then show these cards one on top of the other. I honestly thought mobile would be more difficult, but it's pretty straightforward. I know we should design mobile first, but in Bubble works best first to polish the design in desktop and then jump into mobile. Great, now let's bring this design to life, connecting the cables behind the scenes. Alright, so backend workflows are just what's happening behind the scenes. So when I click a button, something actually happens. In my case, when a user creates an invoice, we actually create this invoice in a database. Which sounds fancy, but a database is just like an Excel spreadsheet. We're not letting developers intimidate us. This is how my database looks inside of Bubble, and this is how an Excel spreadsheet would look with the same structure. Rows, columns, and different tables, nothing else. Okay, so I got my workflows in place. Here are some examples. When you click a tab, you're taken to that specific tab. When you create an expense, it is stored in the database and shown in the table. And when you click an invoice, you can actually edit or delete this invoice. The dashboard will show dynamic data on the revenue and expenses of the current user. So every user will see their specific numbers. It wouldn't make sense to see other people's data. And it is crucial to define privacy rules so this doesn't happen. I also integrated some APIs, which again sounds fancy, but it's just connecting our application to another application. We might want to push something to them or receive something from them. In my case, I used a quick API to create an avatar image with the customer's initial. There's an API service where I push the customer name and I receive an avatar image with whatever color I specify and the initial of the customer's name. This way I have customers in green with their initial and I have suppliers in red with their initial as well. Great, so the logic of my application is starting to get in place. Now we have to understand the marketing pages involved in a SaaS. I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't design the marketing pages in this life, but anyway, I believe this is the easy part. The complex part is the actual application. I wanted to give you a quick overview here as well so you can have the entire picture. So I have the landing page with the storytelling on my platform. Here I explain how I solve a problem for my customers. In my case, this is a platform for solopreneurs where people can use the accounting tools I've just created. They can also watch courses to learn how to create this, and they also have a Slack channel so we can help each other in our journeys. That was a free ad for my business. Maybe you want to check it out. Great. So there's also a pricing page connected to Stripe. I've created one product for each plan. Then I use Stripe payment links, very simple, and link them to each specific button. I also set up a webhook between Stripe and Bubble, so every time a purchase happens, I can register this purchase in our database. Then I have a newsletter page for my content strategy. Every Sunday I share a short and long form video, so people can drop their email if they want to join this journey. Okay, and the last thing, super important, because otherwise we don't have a platform, is the logging and sign up system. So users can actually sign up with their credentials and to access the platform to create invoices, expenses, or whatever they want to do. Alright, so this is a basic foundation of a SaaS platform. We can later add or remove different features based on the feedback of our customers. For this, I use Hotjar to take session recordings and understand what is happening. It's very helpful to understand where to take your product. It took me 9 hours and 37 minutes to build this SaaS live. If you're bored, you might want to go check out the live on YouTube. So here, it turns out we can build a SaaS platform in one day. Here's another video talking more in depth about the tools I use. I wish you good luck in your journey, and maybe someday I'll see you with us. Thanks for spending your time with me, and I'll see you in the next one.